Holy City Center Radio, it is episode 268, and I am your host, Christian Sanger. Today is Monday, June 24th, 2024. Happy Monday. Hope your week is off to a great start. Before I get going, just two quick announcements. Number one, happy birthday to my sister-in-law, Jamie. She celebrated on Saturday. Didn't include it on Friday's podcast, so wanted to make sure I said it to her today. So yes, happy birthday, Jamie. I hope it was a wonderful time, and I hope you and my wonderful niece and nephew and, my okay brother, I guess, had a great time celebrating you. And I don't even know if you'll hear this, but, I don't blame her if she's not listening to my podcast. She doesn't live in Charleston, but wanted to just say it anyway. And speaking of podcast, I was recently a guest in the Charleston Marketing Association's podcast. I think I might have talked about it in the last episode, but if I didn't, I had a great time chatting with them. If you're interested, just search for them on any of your, whatever you're listening to this podcast on. It's the Charleston Marketing Association. I think officially it's the Charleston Marketing Podcast. You should find it with just that. Plus, you can find the link on my website, and I think in the last episode show notes. And if not, I'll throw it in the show notes as well. Pretty quiet weekend here. Not much to report back on. Hard at work on the website, of course, this podcast. And now the Island Eye News out on Sullivan's Island and Isle of Palms. It's another print week. So there'll be a new paper coming out this Friday. So doing edits and putting it all together. I think it went much better than the first run. I didn't talk too much about it, but there's a lot of chaos behind the scenes, which was to be expected, taking over a brand new project. But I think me and my team did a really great job, so hats off to them, and I'm looking forward to finishing it up and seeing the finished product later on this week. Other than that, that's it, so let's get into the news. An update on a former Charleston councilman, Harry Griffin. You may remember him for any plethora of reasons over the years, but he has been out of office and it's been kind of quiet. I haven't really heard from him. Don't know what his future plans are, but you may remember there was an ethics hearing that was scheduled to take place last week in a case against this former Charleston city councilman, Harry Griffin. Well, it's been postponed. Griffin represented parts of West Ashley for just a single term. He is currently under investigation for 39 charges of campaign finance violations, including accusations that he funneled more than $11,000 in campaign funds to a personal account of his. He was set to appear before the State Ethics Commission in Columbia back on June 20th, but his name was actually not included in the agency's agenda this week. The Post and Courier reached out to Griffin's attorney, whose name is Culver Kidd, but they were unable as of, their going to print. And I haven't seen an update yet, although maybe there will be one when you're listening to this. But yeah, they did not get back to the Post and Courier, so not too sure what exactly is going on, why it was delayed, or, maybe is it going to be removed completely? Seems like it's just a postponement, but we really don't have any other details outside of that. I'll be sure to keep you posted. Yeah, we got some fun stuff to talk about. I know it's always like just general news and some stuff that bums you out, because it's important. Politics and all these other stories we talk about, although they're not always sunshine and roses, they're important to talk about and people are interested. But we finally have some space in a show to just kind of make the rest fun stuff. So first, this is for those of you who may have kids or, maybe you are babysitting or you have a niece, a nephew, whatever it may be, grandkids. If you have children and you're trying to entertain them, the Citadel Mall, yes, the Citadel Mall may have something for you, at least on Mondays. So starting today and running every Monday through July 29th, the Citadel Mall will provide free entertainment on a big screen in center court. That's right, free movies. Kids also can eat for free. There's select food court eateries that will be providing free food. I don't know the exact details if it's like anything that these eateries serve or if they're just specific things. But regardless, free movie for the kiddos and free food for the kids as well. Can't beat that. So the movie nights, as I said, are Mondays starting tonight. They'll run from, 6 p.m. to 8-ish, depending, of course, on how long each movie is. The full schedule you can find on the link in my show notes. But as to be expected, they're mostly going to be, animated films, PG. I think there might be a PG film in there, but they're mostly G films. Think stuff like Migration, Wonka, the new Willy Wonka movie that came out with Timothy Chalamet. There's a Trolls movie, Kung Fu Panda 4, Ghostbusters, and a movie called Wish. So you can see what dates those movies are going to be showing. But this is the Citadel Mall, not the Citadel movie theater, so just keep that in mind. But some free adventures for the kiddos. We've got two pretty big time restaurant openings. I haven't personally gotten to either of these yet. However, one of my writers has, so I'll tell you a little bit about that in a moment. The first is called Marbled and Finn. It comes from the Neighborhood Dining Group. They are behind other restaurants in town like Husk, the Delaney Oyster House, Monero, and the James. So they added Marbled and Finn to their portfolio. They officially opened back on June 12th. They describe it as a, quote, ambitious approach to the traditional steakhouse, end quote. Like I said, I haven't been to this one. Pictures I've seen online of other people, the food looks really great. So far, the feedback I've seen and, what people have said about, again, on social media and things have been positive reviews. But if you've been or end up going after hearing this, let me know what you think through social media, email, whatever. Always love hearing feedback, what people like and don't like going around town. You can find this restaurant at 480 East Bay Street. It is open right now for dinner service 7 days a week. The other big name restaurant that opened, forgive me, I don't know if I have the pronunciation right, but I believe it is Macon. It's Makan. I very well could be pronouncing that wrong. So please don't hold that against me. But it's actually a restaurant that started in Washington, D.C. It's a pretty high profile restaurant that has won awards, including one from Michelin, which is a big deal. They finally have opened their sister eatery here in Charleston. This restaurant also opened here this month at 210 Rutledge Avenue. It's considered a modern Malaysian concept, so Malaysian food, but they've, added some twists to it, of course, specifically some like Southeastern United States ingredients and things like that. I haven't eaten here, but one of my writers has, Nicole Nelson. She wrote a great review of it. The link is in the show notes if you want to have an idea of what sort of food they have. There's some photos that are included as well if you want to see the dishes. But again, I haven't been. Her review is great, though. And just like with Marbled and Finn, what I have seen online has been pretty much I shouldn't say pretty much. I haven't seen any negative reviews or comments about either restaurant. They've all been positive. So, but it's only a handful. So I'm interested to see what other people think. Again, if you make it there, let me know. I'll be happy to hear what you all think. And this is a real fun one. At least I think it is. I've never heard of this town in South Carolina before this, and I've never heard of this event before I was made aware. But there's something called the South Carolina Bigfoot Festival that is returning to the town called Westminster, South Carolina, which I had to look up. It's sort of near Clemson, so that area of the state. The festival is held on October 11th and 12th, or will be held on October 11th and 12th this year. And it's actually been around since 2019. And event organizers say that thousands of people descend on this small town during the month of October each year since 2019 to celebrate and learn about that most famous of all famous mystery creatures, Bigfoot. I have no idea why the town has this festival. I couldn't really find details on their website. Like, why did they decide to hold this festival? As far as I know, it's not associated with Bigfoot sightings. I have no idea, but it just seems to be a fun, silly event. Perhaps you're interested in either just knowing about it or maybe even going in October. They say whether or not you believe in Bigfoot, you can still have fun at this event. There are Bigfoot researchers who will be there giving talks. There'll be live music. There's contests and some vendors as well. So if you want more information, it's scbigfootfestival.com. Link is in the show notes. I just love that this thing exists. Again, no idea if it's as fun as they say it is. I have no idea what it's like or why it exists, but hey, I'm glad it does. And that'll do it for this edition of Holy City Center Radio. Just a quick one to get you started on your week here. I hope you enjoy whatever it is you end up doing. If you're looking for any plans, For any day of the week, go to holycitycenter.com/calendar to see what is coming up. And of course, you can just go to the main website for the latest news and information about what's going on in town. If you like this podcast, I would love it if you would rate, review, subscribe, share with some friends, whatever you can do to spread the word and interact with this podcast on whatever streaming platform you're listening on. It's a big help every time you do that. And you can also go that extra step by going to patreon.com/holycitycenter and signing up for one of those support tiers. Thanks for listening, and thanks to Lindsay Marie Collins with LMC Sound System for producing this in every episode of Holy City Center Radio. And thank you to Tyler Boone, whose music you hear in each and every show. I'll be back on Wednesday. Stay safe and have fun out there. Until we talk again, good night and good luck.